Every so often, LEGO has to cancel a set. This may be early in the development stage, and we only get to see a few brief pictures like the ones from the 80s and 90s, where Seatron and Europa were going to be real themes. But in recent years, LEGO has been cancelling sets that have made it all the way to final production and had a small factory run, but then would decide at the last minute to stop production and cancel the sets. Usually then, in the case of the Temple of Doom set for Indiana Jones recently, these sets never see any release at all. But for some reason, some cancelled sets actually manage to find their way into collectors' hands and end up on eBay for exorbitant prices. Today I'll be asking the question of how these sets that are recalled by the LEGO Group, given an official statement that they shouldn't be released, still end up in the collector's market. Often the reason why this occurs is because the set is already at the very final stages of finishing. It has its box and instructions all ready to go, and the sets are even sometimes already made and packed on pallets ready to be shipped. The main factories responsible for this finishing stage are the Kladno, Monterey, and Zhaoxing factories. This can help explain why unreleased sets don't show up where you'd expect. Usually Australia and other island countries with close export ties get these unreleased sets, rather than America and other of the big consumers of LEGO sets. There are some odd exceptions, like how the Mandalay Bay version of the Las Vegas Skyline set was found in a few places in South Africa, and nowhere else. But often the sets will be in Australia or parts of Europe, where the Kladno and Monterey factories supply them. This was the case for set 40489, which was supposed to be a Christmas gift with purchase, but was cancelled at the last minute for unknown reasons. I've built a replica as close to the original as I could for this video, but the real thing commands hundreds of dollars, and you'll notice that a lot of the sellers are actually from Australia, particularly in Queensland. You'll notice that as a common pattern, with a lot of the eBay listings for the LEGO Technic Osprey as well as the Overwatch Titan mech, both being from this region. While this is great news for me, it's not so great news for the rest of you, with very few copies being in the US, only from people who exported them from Australia. This leads me to Galador, a TV series and LEGO theme that didn't do very well in the States, but did decent in Australia, at least decent enough that two of the last Galador figures to be produced, Tager and Aquat, were basically only released here, as well as a few select places in Europe. It seems that due to the abrupt cancellation of Galador, the Tager and Aquat figures were already ready to go, but ended up having to be pulled and had lower production runs. But the sets that were produced got to be released in Australia, where the show is doing okay. I'm lucky enough to own a few copies, all found in Melbourne, Australia, but it seems that these are available in all kinds of places in Australia, as well as in New Zealand. I've also seen a few surface in the Philippines and surrounding countries. This set is just as good as any of the other Galador sets, so it was a shame it got cancelled, and it makes for some great mocks with the parts as well. In fact, the entire theme was supposed to get a third wave, with a famous example being the Mokar set, as well as a Next Generation Euripides and Yens, but these were all cancelled, and it seems only prototypes in a limited quantity were made in the Kladno factory. Tager and Aquat are a rare case of a set being cancelled due to poor planning by LEGO, rather than a controversy as all the more recent examples. Really, LEGO should have better planned whether the theme was going to do well or not before going ahead with 2 or 3 waves of set design. However, I'm a big fan of the theme, and it's great to see that Taker and Aquat is still available for people, at least in Australia. So hopefully this video shed a little light on why Australia gets all the good stuff in terms of unreleased LEGO sets. If you have any other information on Tager, Aquat, or any of these unreleased sets, please let me know. Thanks for watching.